Hey guys, this is Full Stuffing Incorporated, and I want to give you guys my Fluffal deck profile. And it's been a while since I did a deck profile video, so I'm also do another one now. And realistically, I've been playing around with the deck a lot with different builds, like with a bunch of hand traps, with trap cards even. And I was just thinking, this is a diverse enough metagame to actually use Fluffals to their fullest. I mean, if 10 decks are topping, what can I really do against all of them with just a few simple attacks, right? So, yeah, I decided to run Fluffals at Purist right now. I mean, you can run Brilliant Fluffals if that is probably better, but I'm just doing pure Fluffals for those more budget players. And guys that just don't like Brilliant Fusion in general. I mean, I love Brilliant Fusion personally, but you can run whatever you want. I just don't, just because this is my real life build right now. And I freaking love it. I've been playing around with it in locals, and I had a pretty decent amount of success. So, with that out of the way, I'll go ahead and go over this deck list for you. And I'll go over some of the other cards in case you guys are newer players. So, first up is Fluffal Dog. When it's normal spell summon, you can add one Fluffal or Edgent monster from your Edgent Sabers from your deck to your hand. This is very handy. Your best enabler of the deck, the Searcher, the Stratos, just everything the deck really needs, in my opinion, aside from Patchwork, of course. But, I digress. So, yeah, the next monster I'm going to go over is Fluffal Penguin. Fluffal Penguin's oh my gosh, probably the most adorable Fluffal monster. And it's probably the best one in terms of draw power aside from wings. With Penguin, you can actually summon another Fluffal from your hand while it's on the field, once while it's on the field. And if you fusion summon with it, then you get to draw 2 cards and discard 1. And that's if you use it for a Frightfur monster. This card is very freaking good, considering that it gives you draw power and it enables rank 4 plays with Fluffal Dog. You can run it at 3. I think it's definitely 3 worthy, but I just run it at 2 just because I don't ever want to open multiples, but it's not too bad opening multiples either. So, consider that when you build the deck. Next up, we have 3 Edgent Chain, because Edgent Chain's great. It searches your Frightfur spells and traps. And also, just the fact that it searches Frightfur Fusion is very great. And it's a level 4 if you ever want to consider that in your plays. And also, the fact that it can also search another copy of itself on top of that. It's unnecessary, but hey, it's great. So, yeah, and also it's another name for Frightfur Kraken, and probably the best name. So, consider that when you ever want to build it. So, next up we have 3 Fluffal Bear, because Fluffal Bear it's great, honestly. I run it at 3 because I run Pod Desires in here. If I was, I probably would run it at 2 still, maybe even 3, because, let's be real. The reason why I run 2 wings in this deck that some of you guys may see and be confused by is because Fluffal Bear and Fluffal Dog do something on their own where Wings does not. Wings has to be set up, and it's easily searchable throughout the deck. So why should I run 3 if I could just have 3 Bear to get to my Wings, to get to those plays even faster, maybe even use Edgent Sabers even better. Just because Fluffal Bear is a great card in my opinion. I feel like it should be at 3 in any build, but we can agree to disagree if you guys don't agree with that. So, yeah, there's that. Next up is Edgent Sabers, because Edgent Sabers is great, and you only need 1. It's widely searchable in the deck, and if you're afraid of banishing it off of Desires, you can always run 2, and even run a Lure of Darkness if you wanted to, because you would have enough dark targets. So, yeah, you can consider that when you're building the deck. Next up, we have 3 King of the Swamp, because King of the Swamp is your Poly Searcher, and it's your substitute for fusion plays, so it's freaking great. And it's your main way to get to Frightfur Leo, and your only way, really, but that's beside the point. When Frightfur Patchwork comes out, or if it comes out, I'm running it at 2, just because it's that good, in my opinion. You can disagree with me, but I think that it's very much so worthy of at least 2. Then next up, we have 1 Fluffal Owl, because if you're under spell negation, this card's the way to go. And all you have to search your poly if you get it off a toy vendor or summon it from the hand. It's another searcher, so it's always nice. It allows your pluses to go through the roof with other cards right now. Next up, we have 2 Fluffal Sheep, because it's necessary for your link plays, pretty much nothing more unless you want to recover your Frightfurs for more plays. So 2 is necessary, and I think you could definitely run it at 3 if you wanted to. Next up, we have 1 Fluffal Cat, because Fluffal Cat's freaking adorable, and it allows you to Solemn Strike dodge. What I mean by that is that if you use it for fusion material for a Frightfur Tiger, which I think is probably the only one aside from Sabertooth that can actually do it with, is that you can use the Frightfur effect and then Chain Link 2 on Cat, so you would have to strike it, and the fact that Ghost Ogre can only hit field effects, and Cat is Chain Link 2 in the graveyard, that can actually save you quite a bit of frustration. So Cat is very good at 1. You can run it. You run it at 2 if you want to. I don't know why you would, but you can. And I feel like it's better than Rabbit in that regard, just because Polly is a way harder combo piece to get to than any of the Fluffal cards that Fluffal Rabbit can recover. Then lastly, from the monsters, 2 Fluffal Wings. Just because, well, with Fluffal Wings, your best draw combination in the deck. Well, draw combo enabler, really. This card's really freaking awesome. You can run it at 3 for running a brilliant build. That's running at 2 here because it's a pure build. And there are plenty of ways to search it. So, yeah, and drawing it off of Wings is pretty bad. I mean, it's like drawing Desires off of Desires. But you guys use it for fusion material, so it's not all that bad, really. And now into the spells. And we have one Instant Fusion, just because the play with it's really good, okay? You get to bring out Sheep, then you use it for Sabretooth to bring it back. It gets around Masterpiece very effectively, and I think that it would be really good if you really don't like Masterpiece, you can just summon, you can do this combination with them. That way you can get over Masterpiece if it's not boosted by Draconic Diagram, if it tributed a spell. So, yeah, you can consider that in your build if you don't like True Dracos that much. So now let's get on to the other spells, being 2 Fright for Fusion because it's a Miracle Fusion of the deck, and it's searchable by Edge Chain, 1 Raigeki because it's standard, 1 Fusion Recovery because you get your materials back for more Sabretooth plays, 3 Poly, you can run with Fusion Substitute, but I just want to know that I have the ability to fuse from anywhere rather than be as limited as just on the field that Substitute does, but Substitute's perk for the graveyard drawing is really nice. Now let's get on to 2 Pod Desires, because yeah, it's a pretty controversial one. I mean, yeah, I agree that it's tough losing your combo pieces, but if you're running pretty much 3 of everything, you really shouldn't be that worried. Also, drawing Desires off of Desires is also a concern for me, which is why I dropped it from 3 to 2 for my last build, which was more OCG than anything else, so yeah, consider that. Next up, we have 2 Foolish Burial Goods because, you know, you get to send your vendors to search another Fluffal to enable your Wings play, get Penguin, etc. And also, other people running at 3, I was running at 2 now because of Desires. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process with that. Then I have 1 Foolish Barrel because it can send Wings, it can send Edge Sabers, it can send Chain if you wanted to. And there's 2 Twin Twisters because I want to get rid of them Pendulum Scales and deal with Paleo a tad easier. Then there's Fright for Factory because it's chargeable by Chain and it's a continuous polymerization every turn. Then there is 3 Toy Vendor because this Toy Vendor is really great. It's the heart and soul of the deck in my opinion, and you guys feel free to disagree, but without Toy Vendors, this deck would probably be nothing. So, yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that. And now into the extra deck, we have 1 Fright for Daredevil, because he's your main way of getting over Masterpiece if you're trying to go by sheer stats alone. Then there's 3 Sabretooth, because it's the card that saved the deck from dying from Link formats. Bringing back monsters from the graveyard is always nice. Giving them a power boost is even better. And all those level 8 to enable rank 8 plays with Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand and what's-his-face, number 38. And then there's the next one, and also level 8, being Fright for Kraken. Being my favorite Fright for many reasons. 1, it's a level 8, so it enables rank 8 plays. 2, it's neither of it, spot removal effects not hard once per turn. It can attack twice. There is so much this card can do, and it's freaking amazing. And I just think that it's a great card in my opinion. You should definitely run it at 2. You can't even run it at 3 if you wanted to. But I just run it at 2 just because it's necessary at 2. And also the fact that it enables rank 8 plays. And the fact that Sabretooth and both of Kraken's attacks, while boosted with Sabretooth, will amount to exactly 8,000 damage. So keep that in mind when you're playing this deck. That way you won't have to overextend and miscalculate anything. Next up, we have 1 Fright for Leo. Yeah, the Vulgasaurus of the deck is still here, considering that it's more of a late game card than anything else, and the only way you can get to it is with King of the Swamp, but I feel like the 1-of is absolutely worth it because it can't steal games. And also, it can't be summoned back by, Fright for Sabretooth, which is kind of a downer, but it's really not all that bad in hindsight if you're just gonna steal games with it. Next up, 1 Fright for Wolf because it's your main Fright for Fusion target if you really need to OTK. Then there's 2 Fright for Tiger because these are Field Bomb, and it also gives your monsters a very significant boost. So I freaking love the card to death. Then lastly, 1 Fright for Sheep because your instant fusion target. But now for the Xyz monsters being 1 Baguska and Utopia package because they're completely necessary in the deck. And lastly, Mrs. Radiant just because it's your Earth. It is our Earth target of the deck. Now, you can totally run Deco Talker in the deck. Just because it's a good way to get over Baguska if you're really that frustrated by it. I mean, I had plenty of moments where Baguska completely let me out of the game if I didn't have a proper out to it. But then again, that's in my experience. You can build a deck however you want it, but you can run a Deco Soccer in here if you really need to. But as far as this deck is concerned, the metagame, let's go ahead and go over 3 decks right now, because 3 of them are pretty predominant right now. So, yeah, let's go over Pendulum Magicians real quick. If they go second, Fluffal's absolutely crap on them, just because they don't send... Okay, if I were to go over different builds, like the Pendulum FDK, I'm not going over that right now, because I gave my thoughts on that in the last video. But if I were to talk about Fluffals in general right now against Pendulum Magicians as a deck, I think this deck absolutely craps on it when they go second, because their OTK plays are still great. They can still play around Odd Eyes Vortex and around Naruto, the Moral Leader. And realistically, this deck can run a ton of hand traps if you wanted to. I mean, don't run much of them at once, mind you, but it can run Ghost Ogre, it can run Ash Blossom, it can run Gamma. It has quite a bit. I mean, I think the deck could do a lot of work right now with hand traps. But I'm just not running them now just because the meta hasn't defined itself yet, and I'm still trying to figure out what's the best build right now. But I feel that right now, this is my best build. Now, if I were talking about Trick Stars, this deck had a pretty good matchup in general anyway. I mean, you can dispute that with me, but I honestly think that this deck right now has a really good matchup against Trick Stars. And as far as True Drake goes, I already gave my thoughts on that, and honestly, yeah, they kind of just dunk on him pretty hard. Now, if I was like about dinosaurs or something, they can do pretty well against dinosaurs if you can open Tiger. I mean, if you go up against, let's see, like Shaddoll Dinosaurs, for example, like if you're going for the Wings play, it's really not that hard to do, considering that they don't run too many control cards outside of Winda and Ultimate Conductor's Tyranno in my experience. But I think the deck can easily play around those boards and still TK them, so I think that this deck can still do something. Against dinosaurs, at least. Shaddoll Dinosaurs, even with Winda, can't hold them down too well. So, yeah, that's how I think the deck will do. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys like it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, notify for Army, and Skate will beat the meta. Talk to you guys next time if you enjoy my next video. And please give me more suggestions in the comment section if you have any for this Fluffal deck, that I can improve this deck for the meta game. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.